I'll make a video about a few life lessons I learned from an incident 10 years ago. I had an incident 10 years ago which resulted in my friend, or somebody who I thought was my friend, slandering me amongst our friends because of a misunderstanding and because I behaved a little bit too uh, aggressively. What had happened was that I had a friend who I felt owed me a favor. It's a long story why, but I'll get to that. And so one time he had come over to my apartment and accidentally left his cell phone at my apartment, and I thought I could use the phone as leverage to get him to perform a favor that he had owed me. And so when he frantically emailed me saying his phone is at my apartment, and I decided to tell him that I'm going to hold his phone for ransom. And we were about 19 years old, and I was just wanting to show off my vocabulary, and so I used the word ransom. Oh, I used to watch a lot of detective shows, and kidnapping and ransom is a common theme. And his phone was worth about $100, and I decided to hold it for $20 ransom. And I actually didn't expect him to pay $20. I expected him to negotiate with me, and so I could settle for that favor. But it didn't turn out. I was hoping that he would. The favor I wanted was that I wanted him to hook me up with a girl at the school he was going to. He was going to a different university than I was. The school I was going to, or more specifically, the major I was doing, computer science, there weren't that many girls involved, and I wanted his help. And I was hoping that when he left his phone at my apartment, I thought that was my ticket, and unfortunately, it didn't turn out. He got very upset. He blocked me on AOL Instant Messaging and immediately started slandering me to all the friends that we knew, and so it backfired. And some lessons I learned was that perhaps I forgot to think about all of the other options. You know, like a game of chess, when you make one move, you got to think about all the other moves your opponent can make, right? I naively believed that his only option was to negotiate with me, and then I could try to see what I could weasel out of him, right? I was thinking about that option, and it didn't turn out. It didn't turn out. But I think he also took me a little bit too literally. I sent him like, hey, I want a $20 ransom, and he instantly blocked me. I think there's a little bit of jumping to conclusions there. I make that mistake a lot too. I hear something that might have been a joke, or they misunderstand it. I mean, sometimes when I was younger, I used to have language barriers with English, and I misjudge what's going on. I jump to conclusions. I do that a lot with computer programming as well. I'm very jumpy. You know, I'm going to a computer gaming contest, and there's 14 events, and I can't decide which one to do. And I have 14 programs that are all mediocre when I could have had two or three very good ones because I get very jumpy. I see something that might work. I go all out about it, and I stay up all night, and it's not very healthy. Um, so yeah, I learned from that jumping to conclusions and jumping to say something without thinking over what the potential responses could be are just bad habits to make. And unfortunately, our friendship was very much wounded by that incident, even though it was 10 years ago now. Thanks for watching.